Alright, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to start with the post routes that we were talking about earlier, right? And we need to see like how we can make post routes, how we can use post routes, how they are even helpful, right? So until now, we have seen all the get routes. If we go to the app.js, we have seen get here, and we've seen a lot of other get routes too in the exercise and in the intro to video, right? So now we're going to start with post routes, but before that we're going to have to make one more route, I think, and we'll have to make some changes to this app.js file. And it's not that post route requires a different app.js file, it would work in this too, but the changes are necessary to actually demonstrate what the post route is doing, right? And it's just a way of doing it. You could do it without making changes too. So first off, I'll make another get route, which will be /view, right? And it will have the callback, like always, having the request response, right? And inside the callback, what I'm going to do is I'm going to render an EJS document, which will be named index, right? And I'll pass in values and AR. Now, of course, a lot of this is not yet defined. This index.ejs is not defined. This values array is not defined. A values array will be in the EJS file. This AR is not defined, and I'm aiming to make this AR an array, right? So I'll declare an array, which will be and in this video we're also like going to see the actual use of the for loop, right? You know how this could be helpful, right? So apple, mango, and let's say pear, banana, and what else do we have? Watermelon, right? I just wanted to have some entries in here. So we have 5 entries in here, and they are in the array. And what we are doing is we are passing that to our index. But first off, we just need to make the index, right? Yeah. So in the console, I'm in currently the intermediate express folder, and I need to make a file inside my views directory by the name of index.ejs, and then I need to open that up. Great. So now I have my file open here, and the first thing I'll do, the very first thing, is including the partials, right? Because we do need the proper formatting of the HTML page here. So I'll do include, and remember to put this dash, this one, right? This could be an error. Then I'll do dot slash partials slash header dot ejs, and I'll duplicate this line, and the duplicate syntax does not work here. Shortcut include dot slash partials footer.ejs. Excellent. So now I have my header and footer installed in this, and what I can do now is make the body. So even before I do that, let's just see if I'm getting the page here, right? And it was, of course. Great. So I'll go to slash views slash view, I think. Yeah, slash. Yeah, so this is the footer, meaning that my header and footer have been included correctly, and my path is also working, route is also working. Great. So now I can start putting in the body. So first I'll put the h1. Post demo using fruits, right? And then I'll make a UL inside which now we are going to use our for loop, or the for each loop in this case, for the perfect purpose, right? So what I'm going to do is, if I see in this app.js, I have a values array here, right? So I'll do values dot, and of course I need the EJS tags here, right? And as this is a logic, I'll not be putting anything after this percentage sign. So I'll do value dot for each, and then in here I give a function where, let's say, the thing is called fruit, and then I'll put the closing brackets, right? And yeah, so just if you're wondering how this is happening, we have the values dot for each here. We have opened the brackets here, we have closed the brackets here, and this is the for each bracket that started here, right? Great. So now everything we put inside this will be the for each, and we can use this fruit inside it, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an li whose contents will be, I'll use the JS tags again because I'm using a variable fruit, right? So now if I go here and I refresh, I get post demo using fruits, and all my 5 fruits have been put here, right? So first thing, this is one of the best uses of the for each and EJ especially, that we put a for each, we iterated over the array that we were sending from here. So all the operations that we need to perform on an array are really simple in JavaScript, right? We can perform operations on array in JavaScript, and then we can simply pass that in, and then we can print that as we want. And the best thing about this is, even if this array is updated, then when we refresh the page, new things will be added. So let's say I add another fruit here, right? And I refresh the page, I get melon. So our page is becoming dynamic slowly, and it is dynamic right now, except we are not taking things from the database and we're taking things from the array. But anyway, it's still dynamic, right? Alright, so first I'll remove this because this will be useful later. Excellent, so I have this now. Right. So first I'll close the server and I'll do it on node app.js because I do not want automatic restart here, and you'll see why, right? So now let me make a post route, and that will be /add, right? And that will also take, so you declare any route in the same way, and that is by simply app dot the route type and then the URL and then the callback, right? So we have this app.post, and what we can do right now, just to test that this is working, we can do res.send reach the post route. Excellent. So now when we visit /add in post, in the post method, we should get reach the post routes. But like, alright, so I'll have to restart the server first. Server is running. And now if I go here and I go to /add, I will not see anything. It says cannot get /add. Notice this word get, because it is sending a get request. And can you send a post request from the browser by writing something here? No, you can't. Whenever you put something up here, you are using a get request, right? And that is why we cannot test this post request using this browser. So what will we use for this? First of all, post requests are usually triggered by forms, but that we're going to see in the next video because that involves further use of forms a little, like further knowledge. So that we'll see in the next video. But for now, we are going to trigger this post request using Postman. So if we go to Postman here, right? So I have my Postman open, and this is the tool that we installed in the real beginning, right? And this is what it looked like. And just to remind you, you could change the request type here. You could enter your URL here, and you would get your response here, right? So yeah. So now I'll enter my URL, which is this whole thing, right? If you copy this and paste this here, and in the post method, and then if you press send, I see I get back reach the post route. Means my post route is now working, right? So I'm reaching my post route successfully using Postman. Alright, great. The next thing I can do is I can do something inside of this instead of just saying res.send reach the post route. So what I'll do is whenever I add, I'll do add dot push melon. So now whenever we are reaching the post route, we should actually get melon added to our add route, right? A melon added to our array, right? And the next thing we can do is res dot redirect, right? So this is what you'll do most of the times using a post, that you'll change some things that you want. You will probably push this to the like to the database instead of the array, because array is temporary, right? And I'll tell you what I mean by temporary. But and then you'll redirect to a get route which you want to print, right? So here, let's say I want to print slash view. So res.redirect is another method, and what this will do now is, as soon as we post something, we will push melon into the array, and then it will be redirected to slash view, means everything inside slash view will be done, which is basically this, right? So this is always this is done often, right? So now I'll restart the server, right? And now if I go here and I send the request again, I see I have melon added here, and if I send the request again, I get another melon added here, and again, and again, and again. And now if I also do slash view, I still get everything here, meaning my data has been updated on the backend by just simply calling one round. And currently we're like hard coding that we want to add melon. In the next video, when we see forms, we could take the inputs from the user about what we want to enter to our this list, and we could enter that easily, right? So that will be more exciting than this. But for now, you can see that we posted a post request and we pushed melon to our array, and then we redirected to slash view as a get. Whenever you redirect, it's as a get, right? So then I redirected to slash view, and it worked. You could also do res.send in here still, and that would work too. But view redirecting to view makes more sense because we can see what's actually happening. The one thing that you need to remember in this, and the reason why I've been restarting the server manually rather than using nodemon, is that if I refresh the server and if I send this request again, I see I no longer have melon here. And that is because this array is now this array is initialized when the server starts, right? And if we have started the server this time, it does not have any memory of what had happened to the array in the previous server run. And hence arrays are temporary to like one server run, and whenever you restart the server, the changes that you made, and not just arrays, the changes that you made anywhere would vanish, right? So hence array is like a temporary storage method. But that's precisely the reason why we have databases, that databases are permanent. They don't depend on your server, right? Even if you restart your server 100 times, your database will still have the same data even if you edit it, right? So, but we have not seen databases till now, so we'll get to databases later, and then we'll make this storage permanent, and this will remain same even if we refresh the server 100 times. But for now, array is temporary, and whenever we refresh, our values will go back to normal, right? So yeah, this was all about sending a post request, right? And this is like the basic and sending things through Postman. Now in the next video, I'll make a form using EJS, and then I'll like add a post request using that form. You will see how to do that in the next video. And then we'll take an input about what you want to enter to the list right here, and that will be entered. Excellent. So yeah, so that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next.